What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another pre-match fan show and press conference reaction. Jose's press conference has been done. The video is on the channel now. If you want to go and have a look at the whole uninterrupted Jose Mourinho press conference, go and have a look at the channel. The video is on the channels right now, but you don't want to look at it right now because we're here, we're live with you. Obviously, it's a massive game against Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. How are you guys feeling out there? Are you confident? Are you thinking we can take 3 points out of this game? Sim, how are you feeling about this one?
I think we have a chance. I think I can see this being a very tight game. I think it's the first time in a while we've had a whole week, or Jose's had a whole week to work with the players uninterrupted. But given how we played against Newcastle, it's hard to hold out much hope considering that Newcastle dominated us and they really created a lot of chances, and they're a type of team who really don't attack and they really aren't that creative going forward. And if we can't hold out a team like Newcastle, how are you going to hold out a team like Man United? And that's the question. But if he can change things up, Mourinho, if he can get into the players during this week, if he can get them back on side, then I do think we have a chance because there's more than enough quality to get a win in this game. Despite the fact that Man United are unbeaten away from home for over a year, there's definitely enough quality in this Tottenham squad to get a win in a game like this. And especially given that we need the 3 points for top four, they should have no more motivation in this game to get the 3 points. But unfortunately, things have, especially against the better sides of late, things have not worked out like that. So it's hard to envisage anything other than Spurs not winning. But you never know. It's the perfect time to bring a surprise.
Let me tell you how this video is going to be structured, the same as every pre-match show. So we're going to go through Jose Mourinho's press conference question by question and react to it. And then we're going to start getting you guys on and let you have your say on the game this weekend. If you want us to react to anything in the meantime, do tag us on Twitter or send us in your super chats and we'll react to them straight away. But shall we get into the press conference?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's do it.
We'll bring it on. 1 sec. Okay. All right.
This evening, Gary, I'm coming to you first.
Come on, let's do it fast. I have a match to play, 1 o'clock.
I don't think I can hear.
I can't hear it.
Okay.
This evening, Gary, I'm coming to you first.
Come on, let's do it fast. I have a match to play, 1 o'clock.
Okay. And here's
This
the
evening,
press conference.
Gary, I'm coming to you first.
Come on, let's do it fast. I have a match to play, 1 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing an empty seat, but I'm sure you're there, Jose. Good afternoon.
Hello.
1 second. That is quite funny. So he wants his press conference to be done with quickly because he's got a match to play.
Yeah.
What match?
Training match.
He's got. What do you mean he's got a training match? That can be put on hold for 10 minutes, can't
Huh? Not with a big game of Man United this weekend.
You reckon that's what his training match?
I think so. Why not?
It's very
What else could it
strange.
be?
I don't know. I've got a match to play. Maybe he's got a five-a-side with him and his mates.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Any injury news?
Good news. Ben Davies and Matt Doherty are the only 2 players that are not available to play. So they are still injured, of course, getting better, but no more injury news. So everybody available.
Jurgen Klopp earlier this year
Good.
called Manchester United the penalty kings. Others have kind of adhered to that view as well. They've had 3 against you, United, in the last 3 games, one in each. Does that concern you?
Take your time.
I cannot
Jose.
go to a football match concerned. I can't. I don't think it's the right frame of mind to go to a football match concerned. So I'm not going concerned, and I don't want my players to go to. We have to go football match with positive feelings, enjoying the game, enjoying the dimension and the difficulty of the game. coping with the responsibility, coping with the pressure, good pressure. So that's what I want. I want to be positive and happy to play against such a giant club and such a good team. And of course, with the ambition to win the points, because the points, when the game starts, the points are going to be there on the grass, and we are going to play for the points.
Yeah, he hasn't said much, but I guess his first of all was good about the injury news. Davis
Yeah.
and Doherty are the only injuries. So, well, I can't remember, did anyone go off injured last week? Not to my knowledge. So, yeah, it makes sense. In terms of that penalty question, should it be something Jose's worried about giving away? Because even as he said, the last 3 games we've conceded a penalty against Man United.
Is it a worry that we're going to give away a penalty to Manchester United? Is water wet? You know what I mean? I'm not just worried about giving a penalty away to Man United. I'm worried about giving a penalty away to anyone. I mean, our defence is... I've just no confidence in this defence.
Apparently, we've given away the most penalties out of anyone this
There you
season.
go. There you go. How many did the rules change after we gave away the penalty?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter what rules there are. We're still going to give away penalties. But yeah, I think he's right in what he says. You can't go in too worried that you're going to give away another penalty. Otherwise, you get too drawn into that one aspect. But it is something that definitely has hindered us against Man United recently, and in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, let's keep going.
And every reason to be, just as you say, Jose, positive, because you're back at home for the first time in a month on a great run at home, 5 wins in a row in all competitions, scoring, I think, 16 goals. So going in really with that kind of record, all the reason to be optimistic.
I don't look too much for the records, because sometimes things go against the stats or the tendencies or what the records are saying. I go with confidence because I believe in us. I believe in the work we are doing this week to try to prepare the match the best we can. I believe. I don't want to go to the match with other thing in mind than we are ready. We are working well during this week for the wrong reasons, which is knocked out of Europa League, but for the wrong reasons, we were able to have a week to work. We didn't have many for the good reasons. We didn't have many during the season, and now we had it, and that makes me positive. I enjoy the work this week, and I'm positive.
Can I?
I didn't realise that our first home game for a month is our first home game since beating Palace 4-1 in the Premier League a month ago.
Yeah.
Do you think it makes a difference right now? Because we are seem to be on a good run at home, away from home recently in the league anyway. We're not on the best of run despite beating Villa 2-0. Do you think it makes a difference playing United at home or away?
Not too much, to be fair. I really don't. I think with the no fans in stadium, I think that element, it's not completely taken out of it, but I think a big chunk of it is taken out of it without fans in there. I don't think it makes too much of a difference, to be fair. We won 6-1 at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's true. And Mourinho saying, he goes in confident because he believes in the work he's doing and he believes in the squad. Well, he didn't say the squad, but he said he believes in the work that he's been doing this week. And he said we've got a week off for the wrong reasons, but we do have a week off. And he believes that it could benefit us.
I'm pretty sure I've heard him say stuff like this before pre-match games, before big games. Against Chelsea, I think I remember him saying it. So, look, I don't read too much into these kind of quotes, to be honest, but I think that when he's talking about records and stuff and how he doesn't like to read into records and they don't really mean much, I agree with that, because he's kind of broken every record, every one of his own records since he's come here, Won away at Newcastle. He'd never lost to his previous club beforehand. Now he's lost to Chelsea a couple of times. So look, records, I agree with him on that one, but on the other stuff, I think it's just stuff that he has to say pretty much.
But in terms of being at home and away, 5 of our last 8 games in the Premier League are at home as opposed to away, and with our home form improving, Is there anything we
I
could
think that makes a difference to like the lower teams. I know we got Sheffield United at home and like these kind of teams. I think we got Leeds at home, I believe, or Leeds away.
Leeds away.
Who have we got? Who's our home games left?
We've got Man United, Southampton, Sheffield United, Wolves and Villa.
So you probably think out of those 5 games, 4 of those we should win. We should definitely win 4 of those.
You think so?
You'd think so. So it all depends. It doesn't depend on.
There's no should with Spurs though.
Yeah, I
is
know.
there?
It's not that. It's not that. If you're playing home or away, it's about the teams you're playing home and away. And I think that we've done well against those kind of teams this season. You know, the lower bottom end of the Premier League, or the bottom half, should I say, of the Premier League. It's the teams that we struggle against in the top half of the Premier League. And that's the teams, you know, this game and against Everton, that's where we're going to earn our money and get into the top 4. Because if we lose to Man United, lose to Everton, we could be faced with an uphill task. And even if we win these remaining home games, it could still be a difficult task to finish in the top 4.
Absolutely right. Okay, let's keep going.
Ask you, obviously you handed out a footballing lesson to Manchester United last time. Is that something that big defeat that United had against you? Is that something that you imagine Ollie will use in his team talk, and it's something? Is it something you will use in your team talk?
I'm sorry, I will answer to your question. I'm just sorry because I just read some sad news about Prince Philip. So I would like to express my condolences to the royal family, and to be very honest and say that I have deep the utmost respect for the royal family. So my deep condolences, and I believe that is not just this country that is going to be sharing these feelings, because I'm not English, and I know that many like myself, we have the utmost respect. So I'm sorry to stop your question with this. In relation to your question, Gary, I think that 6-1 doesn't reflect the reality. Can happen, of course, can happen sometimes between 2 big clubs. These crazy results, they can happen, but they happen in an isolated way. I go much more on the direction of the other 2 previous matches between us and United. We lost 2-1 at Old Trafford with a penalty, and we drew 1-1 at home last season, also with a penalty. I think for me this is more the reality. We are not far from each other. So I think it's going to be a difficult match for both. If Solskjaer is going to use that result, I don't know. If it was the opposite, if it was my team losing 6-1 against them, I would just say to my guys, it happened once, it's not going to happen twice. This doesn't reflect the reality. The game is going to be tight and we can win. But I don't know, maybe Solskjaer thinks in a different way.
Great.
Final one
Last
from
Gary.
me, David.
Classy, as always, from Jose Mourinho about Prince Philip.
Yeah, of course. And we send our condolences to the royal family.
Yeah, completely echo that. And obviously a sad day for the country, having Prince Philip pass away today. So we do send our condolences to the royal family and everyone else affected. In terms of his talk about Man United and the 6-1, you think Solskjaer will use it as motivation?
I think he bloody well should do. I mean, they're going to look for revenge this weekend. I genuinely believe that. So I think he will use it. But I think what he was saying about that there's not too much between the clubs, I think he was saying it in relation to that 6-1. He's not saying it in relation to the league table. In relation to that 6-1 result, yes, he's right, because Man United are 11 points above us, aren't they? So
no, I'm thinking he's thinking in terms of quality in the squad, like equality in the teams.
But he also said a few weeks ago that you are where you deserve to end up. And at the moment, we're 11 points behind United.
Yeah, but when you look at the quality, Well, you look at how both teams play. Are we far away from Man United, do you think?
When you look at it on the face of things, then no, I don't. But when you look at the table and you look at them being 11 points ahead of us, then you got to say that's a fair gap.
Yeah, I'm not saying, look, they earned that gap by being consistent and grinding out wins. But when you have just a one-off game, like not a one-off game, but when you have a game like Sunday, like, do you see there being do you see there being a massive gap in quality between the two teams?
I don't go into this game feeling like it's a Tottenham Man City or a Tottenham Liverpool like last season or earlier in the season. I think it's much closer than that. I think in terms of actual quality within the squad, I do think it's quite similar, but it's all about the kind of feelings around the squad. It's all about the mentality within the squad, and I think that is the difference really between us.
And yeah, someone just said in the comments, head to head, we are not far from each other, says Ronald. Which I think is absolutely right. I think, we won 6-1. They beat us 2-1, and then we drew 1-0, as he just said. I think, except for the 6-1, the other two games were fairly close. Well, I guess the 1-0 was close. I remember actually when we lost 2-1, they kind of battered us that game, I remember. But that 1-0 was fairly close as well. So I think, I don't know, I think it is fairly close between the two. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out on Sunday.
It's all about the feeling within the squad and the mentality within the squad as well. Because obviously, I mean, Man United, they're going all right this season, second in the league, still in the Europa League. They're not playing that great football, but there seems to be a positive atmosphere brimming from within the club. And their fans some of them seem to be a bit happy.
Well, according to Adam, they're split. They're very split.
Yeah, it's true. Some of the Man U fans I speak to are like on the other side, that split. So it's a bit different which way you want to look at it.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
And had some racist abuse on social media. The club issued a statement saying it was disgusted. First of all, how is he? And secondly, some clubs, led by Swansea, are having a social media blackout for a week starting today. Would you support something like that?
The club is thinking. The club is analyzing every detail, and the club, of course, wants to make an impact. And the decision that the club will make will be a decision that we, of course, will accept and support, but is an internal discussion about the sad situation. In relation to Davison, of course, there is nothing more to add about the sadness of the situation, but I would just say that he found a lot of love internally because he's a lovely guy and everybody likes him and everybody supported him. And he's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
You think there's any chance Spurs boycott social media? Like he's suggesting that Spurs are kind of considering it following Swansea's lead.
I think they should consider it. I think they 100% should consider it. But it's an absolute joke how it's come to this. Like, why has it come to these big social media accounts coming off before companies like Instagram and Twitter are taking a closer look at it or doing more about it? It's an absolute joke how it's got to this, to be honest.
But I guess it's probably
it's
going to have to take to
it's
make
very
change.
much warranted. It really is. Until this happens, until big stars like Thierry Henry and clubs and big accounts come off the platform, that's when it will start to hurt them. So I think it should go that way.
It's getting to a stage where, like, how much good is it doing being on these platforms? Like, yeah, it's good to like get in touch, like for celebrities and fans to get closer together and stuff like that. But when it's getting to a stage where it's just you're just getting abuse and there's vile comments and racist comments and stuff like that, then what good is it doing at the end of the day?
Look, at the end of the day, social media brings a lot of good to this world, but it gets overshadowed by the shit. It gets overshadowed by these idiots that come on with these anonymous accounts and just completely abuse their privileges, pretty much, of social media. And until that stops, then I back 100% all these big accounts coming off social media, 100%.
Okay, let's keep going.
Ibrahim, Talk Sport.
Hi, Jose. How are you?
Ian, I have a football match to play in 10 minutes.
No problem. I don't want to know what position. I presume you're going to play in goal. I saw you playing goal at QPR. No? Okay, go on. Where are you going to play?
I'm fitter now.
Okay.
I can run something
Okay.
and kick some legs.
Okay. Left back. Right. Going to ask you the first question about United. Is it still special when you play against your old club, United?
Yes, of course it's special, but not special because I've been working there. Special the same way it was before I worked for the club. Special because it's a big club. Is always a big match. I played against United with Chelsea, with Inter, with Real Madrid. I played against United so many times with so many clubs.
With Porto, when you slid on your knees at Old Trafford, and Porto as well.
With Porto too. So it's always difficult, but it's always a good feeling to play against such a club with such an history.
In terms of social media abuse, you've come onto social media in the last year or so, or been very proactive, and you've used it in a funny way to let people know about you and what you think. Would you consider coming off social media now, and for good, or even in a short period of time?
I didn't think about it, and I think the ones that can make really an impact on this and resolve the problem are the media giants. I think everything is in their hands to hand with this sad situation, because, as you say, social media can be funny, can bring people together, can bring people from different continents to look like they are living in the same street. And yes, you are right. I have some fun. I try to be positive, and that's the way it should be. Unfortunately, it's not like that, but I believe that even doing different things is not going to be with individuals. It's not even going to be with education, I believe, because honestly, my feeling is that the new generations are not the problem. I think the new generations are much more in the world that we want, without discrimination, without bullying. I think it's not even a problem of education of younger ages. I think it's for the media giants to make a decision and to make that fight. If they want to win that fight, they win it for all of us.
And finally, you mentioned just before about Prince Philip and the sad news today. You've come over to the UK and you've immersed yourself, and you live in London. Would you say that the royal family and Prince Philip and the Queen are what makes Britain special, makes Britain great?
I believe so. I have the utmost respect, and I feel sad for the departure of Prince Philip on a personal basis, because I have only positive feelings, and for the meaning of the family, I feel very sorry. But unfortunately, is live, and we have to keep going.
Okay, we've got time for one more on the broadcast side, so it will be Hugh Ferris. Hugh, I'm just unmuting you now.
Cool. Thank you very much indeed. Hi, Jose. Just Gary mentioned about your home form. Manchester United's away form is extraordinary. 22 Premier League matches unbeaten. Is that a product of this season in particular, or is it a product of the way that they play in particular? And how are you going to end that run tomorrow on Sunday?
I'm not going to comment the records, apart of to say many congratulations for the records. We are going to try to win the match. That's the only thing that I can say. I know that is very, very difficult for many different reasons. It's very, very difficult, but that record is not going to stop us to think and to feel that we can win, and is not going to stop us to fight to win. Then, in the end of the match, maybe the result is different, and their record becomes even better, but it's not the record or anything else that is going to stop us to go to the game thinking that we can win it.
Thank you.
All right. That is the press conference.
I think a lot of people are wondering if he was going to get asked about Toby Alderweireld, and obviously what happened in
surprised
the
he
last
wasn't,
one.
to be fair. I mean, in the actual press conference.
Yeah, I'm very surprised about that. Apparently, he has been asked about it in the written part, which is embargoed until 10:30. So we're going to have to wait until later tonight to hear what he had to say about that. But in terms of in terms of his press conference, didn't really say much, did he? It was just a bit of a. I feel like the questions are a bit like when Ian Abraham asking him, like, what makes the royal family so great? It's like, all right, yeah, I mean, this is a football press conference. I want to know about Spurs United. Why is he asking?
Does the royal family make put the great in Great Britain?
Yeah, they're just like, okay, all right, I get it. But in terms of that, nothing really. Softball questions. Someone said, I think that's pretty much right. It wasn't really asked many tough questions in that one, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. I think apparently it was affected by the fact he had to play football, like at 1 p.m. or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was managing a training game or something like that.
I don't know. He said he's playing.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I think it was a bit tongue in cheek.
Maybe. You're probably right. It wouldn't make sense for him to be playing football. But yeah. That's that.
All right. Well, let's start getting some people on. Let's start getting your opinions on the game this weekend, and let's start off with Alex Samuels.
Alex.
Hello.
Yes, Alex. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, all good. I mean, you got over the Newcastle game now, ready to go again this weekend?
Oh God. I by default I was like, just work out what I'm doing during the weekdays. I'm like, oh, isn't there a Spurs game during the weekday? Oh wait, no, there's not. Okay, never mind.
Happy days.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I'm actually looking forward to the game or not. I haven't really worked it out in my head because I feel like this is. I mean, everyone knows the importance of this game. It's sort of. They're quite a bit above us, United, but it's still very important. I think to establish where we're at as a club. I think you said, we're quite in a head-to-head. We're probably quite similar in terms of ability throughout the squads. So I'd like to see where we are and the reaction as well. I want to see what reaction there's been to Newcastle and the other games, which have been disasters.
Do you think the fact that we're at home, we've got a better, haven't played at home for a month, we've got 5 wins on the bounce at home. Does that make any sort of difference for you going into this game?
It's like, our stadium's really home at the moment. It doesn't really. I don't think it really makes it too much of a difference. Not going to give it to them as an excuse. Absolutely, there's no excuse for the way the team has really. Been playing. I know there are stats out there which are like, oh, actually, we haven't lost as that many, but that's not the point. It's not the point. There's been so many pivotal moments where we've just fallen apart. Games which we haven't lost, but we concede in like the 80-something minute to get a 1-1 draw. Like it's that sort of thing which has been continuous through the season. So yes, we've got a good defensive record, whatever. But it's the pivotal moments, the psychology of it, which has really, I feel like, gone into the heads of some of these players.
We've got a super chat here from Antoine Jessopin. We're going to give it to you, Alex. We're going to ask you the question, and he says, do you want Bale to start, and if not, why?
I think that he should start, actually. I'm going to go with yes, actually. Do I think he will is a different question. I don't think he will, but I would give him a go this weekend purely because we don't really have a lot of other effective options who I thought it's something else to try. It's something else, and we need to be working out. We had that win against Aston Villa. We had a bit of a good period before where Bale was doing very well. We had a bit of a team which we were putting out consistently and was actually doing pretty well for a while. So we need to try and rediscover that. And to rediscover that, we should try a few new things. And I don't see why Bell starting wouldn't be a good thing or bad thing. I mean, but I don't think he will.
The only reason I disagree with that is I just feel if we do start Bale, Shaw is going to have an absolute field day, a la what Tierney did in the North London derby. I feel like that might just swing it in Mourinho's mind that it's too much of a risk to start Bale. But what he offers you, obviously, is that goal threat, which is if we do play either a Lamela or a Lo Celso in that position, which is probably likely given who we've played there recently, they don't have that, which Bale definitely takes up a notch.
Yeah. No, I do kind of agree. I know that Jose likes his defensive wingers and all that. And Bale isn't really that, to be honest. So I do see what you mean, but in terms, as an attacking outlet, yeah, I think you sort of you know what I mean, saying that it does provide us another dimension.
And just before we let you go, Alex, what is your score prediction?
I'm gonna go
positive, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna 3-0 Spurs. Let's do this. Let's do. I'm gonna say. I think 2-1. Lamela getting. I don't know. Someone sent off again. There we go. That's
Alex, what I would give for Spurs in full cry. Oh my god.
Oh,
it's been a while.
Lamela Rabona, Mark 3. Yeah,
exactly.
2-1. I think 2-1.
2-1 Spurs.
Yeah, 2-1.
Oh,
really? Wow.
We're going to end Man United's unbeaten run.
Say it with some chest, Alex.
Say it. Come on.
Let's do this. Come on, Tottenham.
Come on, Alex. Nice one. Thanks for coming on, man.
Cheers, Alex.
See you guys. See
you later.
See you in a bit.
Well, at least someone thinks we're going to win, eh?
Yeah, look, he's in the minority, I think, but yeah.
Look, please, everyone, go and smash that like, smash that subscribe button as we bring on Mr. Tottenham away. Yes, Brian, how's it going, mate?
Oh, good, boys. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Champion.
Looking for
quiz
champion.
All hail.
Quiz champion.
All hail.
It wouldn't be a Friday if I weren't on your show, boys. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to you, my friend. What are your feelings coming into this game?
Nervous, anxious, worried, to name a few. We really, really do need a good performance after the debacle of last week.
Yeah.
And I've just got everything that's possibly crossable crossed that we can get a result.
Is it coming part of your Shabbat ritual now? Kind of light the candles, set your timer, and get on We Are Tottenham TV before Shabbos. Is that part of the whole thing now?
It's that, and then pray to Him Almighty to just pray for 3 points. He's not listening very much at the moment, but I hope tonight I'll shout loud and clear so he can hear me.
Maybe you should try a few different gods, see which one sticks.
Maybe. That's a good idea, Ben. I'll give it a go for you.
You must have been praying a lot harder since January. I reckon you haven't been feeling it since January. You haven't been really speaking to him.
I just think I haven't been a good boy and he's not listening to me. I'm on the naughty step up there. So he's just doing exactly the opposite of what I'm saying.
Brian, Man United are unbeaten away from home for over a year in the Premier League. How much hope do you give us for actually winning this game? I want to know your opinion.
But you know what? I've got a feeling it's going to be a high-scoring game. I've got a feeling it's going to be a 2-2 or a 3-2 to us. I can never say, I can never go against us. Never, ever go against us. It's going to be high-scoring because we can't defend. And let's just hope Kane's got his shooting boots on.
Fair enough.
I mean, how are you expecting us to set up?
Simeon asked, and I agree with Simeon, I don't want Bale starting. I do not want Bale starting. Bring him on nearer the end so when everyone's tiring, then he can make an impact. But at the beginning, just like exactly what Simeon said, Simeon the manager, once again, or my assistant we had, it weren't his Shaw will have a field day down that left with us. And if Rashford playing, I would imagine he is.
Yeah, he will be,
They'll have a field day if Bale's playing. So I wouldn't be surprised to be Toby. I pray to God we see Toby. I hope... I don't know what people... I hope Aurier plays at right back.
Yeah, I mean, Tanganga wasn't great last game against Newcastle. He really wasn't. Doherty's out injured. So I think it's a fair possibility that we'll see Aurier this weekend. I really do.
Even if you do that and move Tanganga into centre-back with Toby or Rodon, I don't care if Toby don't play. I think Aurier needs to play there just for his experience and more importantly, his crossing.
Yeah, Roden I think has to play in this one as
Yeah,
well.
so you're hoping for Roden, Toby in the middle, or Roden, Tanganga, one of the two.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think Toby and Roden's the first choice, but if he does go Aurier right back, you have another option at centre back if it's not working. Just basically anyone but Sanchez.
Yes, I mean the rest of the team
Well,
really
my
picks this.
twin nephews turned 9 today, and I'd rather they play at centre back rather than Sanchez.
Happy birthday, by the way. The other parts of the team kind of pick itself with Regular on left back, Højbjerg, Ndombele in the middle, Son on the left, Kane up top. Who takes the other two spots for you?
Oh dear.
He's struggling already.
You know what? No, I am struggling because it's got to the point now where we can't predict our first 11, and it's just even trying to guess it. It's just I can't even think of his logic, and I couldn't hear the press conference in the back end, so I don't even know what he was saying. Probably some nonsense as always.
He didn't give anything away.
There you go. So wait a minute. What's the team you said so far? Ben, go back again.
So everyone's fit.
Lloris, I said, well, what we've gone through so far is Lloris in goal, Reguilon left back, Aurier right back, one of Tanganga or Toby alongside Roden, Højbjerg and Ndombele, Son on the left, Kane up top, and then there's a position for number 10 and the right wing.
Lucas for sure. Right wing. I mean, like I said, I'm about to come on. And maybe Lamela. I mean, Martial's not there, so he's not going to be looking for revenge. But Man U might be, and the last thing we need is no one needs to get Eric Lamela wound up to do something stupid.
Yeah. So
if we give Lamela a sedative like a Valium before the game, definitely Lamela.
Did you hear those quotes from Juan Foyth this week on Lamela?
Yeah, saying that he just wants to fight with anyone.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? You could just see it on the pitch, that fiery Argentinian.
He probably has a fight with a car parking bollard when it doesn't open up for him, knowing it.
What prediction are you going for? What scoreline?
I said 2-2 us. Sorry, 2-2 us. 2-2
or 3-2, you said.
Us.
All right. All right, Brian.
Just
thanks for coming on, man.
One quick thing, lads. Tottenham away are going live tonight at midnight your time for the night out, 7 p.m. this side of the pond for the evening with the two brides. We're going to have a lot of fun. So if any of you night owls are awake or the people on this side of the border want to come on, we'll be dropping a link to call in, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right, I might try join that with you, Brian, tonight. So let's see if I'm
still
still awake. Let's see if I'm still awake.
My man. Please do. We'd love to have you on, and have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you Sunday, hopefully in a very calm, relaxed manner.
Unlikely, but we'll see. All right, nice one,
Shabbat shalom, my friend.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone, do scroll down, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. We've got 525 people watching at the moment, but only 120 likes.
Yeah, that's the maths does not add up, guys.
Come on, guys. Just scroll down, smash that like, smash that subscribe button, and let's get on to the next. You want to go through Twitter?
Look at some tweets?
All right, let's go to Twitter.
All right, let's look at some tweets. We've got people who've been sending them in. We've got one here from T-Fin says, I genuinely have just given up on Jose. Given up. Jose is ruining football. If he wins the League Cup, he should be sacked. Leave after that, as him achieving everything he can at Spurs. So what, if he doesn't win the League Cup, he shouldn't be sacked? I'm confused by that. But I hear that. It's hard after performances like we did put in against Newcastle to stay positive. But look, things can change very, very quickly in football. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Arthur Gelder. Last season, United took all 3 points and then after took a point from a penalty of undeserved. I'm not excited for this game, but hopefully it goes Tottenham's way. Yeah, I agree. I remember the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We played fairly well. Defended fairly well. Lloris did have a good game though, and they did end up making their pressure pay late on with winning that penalty. Though I did think it was an unjustified penalty in the end. The OBN, Arteta said he will not play the players who treat Arsenal like a retreat, but when Jose doesn't play the players who treat the club like a retreat, e.g. Delhi, who has stayed in the first team and was a passenger under Poch and still a passenger, it's unfair criticism. Yeah. I think there's a point to that. I think other managers say very critical things about their players, but then the narrative about them throwing their players under the bus isn't spun like it is with Jose. For example, Thomas Tuchel just yesterday was talking about how Werner and Havertz, or a couple of days ago, sorry, he said talking about how Werner and Havertz didn't have great games in the Champions League and weren't up to usual standard, and he was just saying they were poor, and he was kind of calling them out a bit, and yet no one's saying Tuchel throws his players under the bus. And even when he brought on Hudson-Odoi and took him off, no one says that kind of stuff. And I do think it's something levelled at Jose. Whenever he has anything critical to say about his players, he says, oh, he's throwing them under the bus, which I do think is true. Smart Donut says, I really hope we play Steven Bergwijn against Man United. He has not played much, and I think he offers a lot. Play him on the right. Would it be a good opportunity to bring Bergwijn back into the frame?
Not for me. I think what Brian said was pretty much spot on. What I want is Lamela, Lucas, Son.
So drop Lo Celso.
Probably, yeah. I don't think he's done enough just as of yet. I think he's still trying to get his fitness back.
Okay. And THFC George says, we're going to go 1-0 up in the 15th minute, then concede a penalty in the 60th minute, then concede again in the 88th minute, come back after the game. It's bound to It's bound to happen as we concede the most in the second half and United score the most in the second half. Positive as ever. I know we've been tagged in something. What's that? Oh, that's just a tweet. Stevie start on Sunday because Bale isn't going to track back against Rashford, and if Aurier plays, he'll need help if he gets forward. I don't care. He doesn't get goals against Man United with Rashford. He needs to play.
The thing is, what I was saying before about Lo Celso, I don't want him out on the right wing. That's where I don't want him. Mm-hmm. And I want Lucas in that middle. So the only way I think fitting him in is to play a 4-3-3 without playing number 10. So maybe Lucas.
So they'd drop Lucas.
That would mean Lucas missing out.
Unless Lucas plays on the right.
He gets lost in games there, though. But could provide a good job for the team in terms of a defensive right winger, though. So it depends which way you want to go. I can see us finding a bit of joy with a 4-3-3, actually. With Ndombele, Lo Celso with Højbjerg just behind. I think that's got enough bite in there to win us that midfield battle.
I would hope so. If it's a lot of pressure on Ndombele and Lo Celso, but I think they could be up to it if they're playing the right way.
They're Premier League footballers. There should be pressure on them.
No, I'm saying like defensive pressure. I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think they're more than capable enough. They've shown more than enough in a Spurs shirt, so why not?
Yeah, I agree. All right, that's all the tweets at the moment. Keep sending them in and we'll react to any content or opinions on Twitter that you send or in any super chats as well. But who's coming on next?
Cody Mac.
Cody Mac. Is that the parrot?
The parrot's back.
The parrot's back. Love it.
How you doing, Cody?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good, mate. Obviously, massive game this weekend. Tottenham against Manchester United. How you feeling coming into it?
Yeah, you know what? I've really been struggling to deal with the amount of negativity that there's been around the club here on social and in the discussions and everything. I mean, just as an exercise, anyone listening, just close your eyes for a second. I'm going to take you on a journey back to September of 2020. Okay. And now I'm going to tell you that it's April 9th. We're 2 points off top 4, and we have a chance to do a dirty double on Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You tell me whether or not you would have snapped my hand off in September for the kind of opportunity that we still have in this season. It's just a matter of how we've gotten here that's kind of framing our mindset. And I think we need to change it a little bit and bring a little bit more positivity.
Cody, can you take me back to April 2019 instead?
No, my time travel abilities only go back 9 months, unfortunately.
Obviously, we got a really poor result against Newcastle last time out, 2-2 draw at St James's after a poor performance as well. And in the race for the top 4, if we do win this game on Sunday against Man United, does it for you cancel out that result against Newcastle in terms of the race? Does it make up for lost points?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we have to forget the previous results, whether they're positive or negative. We have to get back into the mindset of just going game by game. And the thing is, it's like how I used to teach golf, and what I used to tell my students is you can't let the results dictate whether or not you're going to enjoy your round, because inevitably you're going to have a moment of failure. And if you allow it to seep into your mentality, it's just going to snowball. So I've already forgotten about there's no point in taking anything out of the Newcastle game. It's one of those games that you just flush down the toilet. And I mean, it's tough because we've had to flush the toilet so many times. It's starting to get a little clogged right now, but we have to hope that we still have a chance to turn the season around, and this could be the beginning of that.
Yeah. But do you hold confidence coming into this game? Do you think we can come away with the 3 points, seeing as Man United haven't lost away from home in 22 Premier League games?
Listen, if you're going to be a Spurs fan, you're going to have to accept a certain amount of delusion within your life. So yes, absolutely. There's 3 points up for grabs. It's anybody's game. United, they've beaten Manchester City, they've lost to Sheffield. This is the season where any result is possible. So of course we have to believe that we're capable of winning the game.
Yeah, and in terms of a few selection headaches Mourinho has this weekend, after what happened last week, he kept with the same lineup against Villa last week. So it was kind of, you ain't break, don't fix it. I think that's even what you said, right? If you ain't break, don't fix it. That's what you said last week. And then that's exactly what Mourinho did. But what do you do this week? Because it is kind of broke.
Well, you have to think, from my mindset, I'm really hoping that there's been progress made into sorting out the dressing room issues, because some of the dissenting players or the players who have been left out are at times have been our best players, And I do have, actually, would you guys like to hear a theory about Toby Alderweireld?
I love theories.
Yes, please.
I think Toby is the mole.
And
I think, why.
Did you comment that in the live chat before, or did someone else? Because
I've said this.
I read it, and to be honest, it makes a tiny bit of sense.
Well, let's just go through the facts, okay? Toby plays well. He works hard. He was dropped for absolutely no reason. Suddenly, Jose says there's a mole, and I'm going to out it. And then everybody goes quiet except for Toby's dad. And you know what? Toby's a super nice guy, squeaky clean image. Nobody ever suspects the nice guy. So to me, it's the only explanation as to why Toby hasn't been a regular starter in our 11.
I'm by no means saying Toby is the mole, but to back up your kind of statement, I think that at the end of Poch, he was kind of one of the big ones that wanted Poch to go. I don't know if you remember that interview. I think it was out on Belgium international duty. He was kind of smirking and he seemed kind of happy Pochettino had been sacked. So maybe you got a case.
Yep. You know what? I'll never be disproven, so I can sit here and say anything I want. So that's what I'm going to say.
No, 100%. But moving back onto the game, what prediction are you going for?
I'm going to go 3-0 Spurs, because I think somebody has to keep pulling. Somebody has to pull in the positive direction. And you know what? If I end up in the mud over it, so be it. I'm not gonna go into each game expecting the very worst. And I understand that it's not a realistic expectation, but it is a possibility. And before I go, I do want to just go through a few statistics that can easily demonstrate why we are in the table where we are compared to Manchester United.
Please.
Are you ready to have your mind blown?
I'm ready. I'm so ready. Come on.
Okay, so in the last 10 minutes of games, United have scored 19% of their total goals, compared to Spurs have scored 4% of our total goals have come in the last 10 minutes. In the last 10 minutes, in terms of conceded goals, United have conceded 15% of their total goals, and Spurs have conceded 28% of the total goals in the last 10 minutes of the game.
That makes me angry.
When you look at the squads, there's not really too much that you saw it in the starting 11, the combined 11 video that you did with Adam Matic. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of contentious places where you could go 50-50. That is just that's the 11 points between us right now. Mm. United have taken care of business at the end of games, and we have failed.
That is true. That is a big problem.
I think that's absolutely spot on, man. That really is, and it's damning, man. It really is. And it makes me angry. It really does. But look, Cody, thanks a lot for coming on, man. And we'll see you after a nice 3 points and a 3-0 win this weekend. Come on.
Glory. Nice one, Cody.
Got a super chat here from Paul Gregory. He says, you could go 4-3-1-2. So you get Lo Celso in the middle, Lucas as a 10, and Son and Kane up top. That's how I would fit them in. What'd you say to that?
Yeah. That's kind of what we were doing against Villa, but we had Vinicius up top instead of Son. So I wouldn't be totally against it if we can somehow manage that. It just means that the centre mids are going to have to be more focused, very focused on tracking back the fullbacks as well as dealing with the stuff in the centre. So it could make some difficulties, but I think that's probably the best way of fitting the players into positions they could be effective in, to be honest.
I want to speak to you about this, about all these Wayne Rooney quotes that were coming out.
Rooney?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw them on Football London.
Didn't see Wayne Rooney.
There was some Wayne Rooney quotes. I'm not sure how old or new they were, but he was talking about Jose Mourinho and his time at Man United. And he was saying that a big flaw with Jose that he recognised, and a lot of the squad players on the periphery of the starting 11 were noticing, and they kind of called him out on it. Well, not personally, but like to each other. They were saying that there is just no communication whatsoever between Jose Mourinho and the players that are outside the starting 11. And with Hugo Lloris saying that, there's a lot of players outside the starting 11 that are causing problems and stuff, do you reckon he's repeating the same mistakes at Tottenham?
That definitely plays into that. Definitely, you'd have to say that. I think that makes sense if he's kind of not communicating well with the players that are out the squad, and that he does need to rely on later in the season. If he's not communicating well with them, then that's a failing of his, for sure.
Wayne Rooney in the quote said, like, he would drop someone for the team, like for him, for example, someone else, for example. He said he was old enough by then to realise why he wasn't playing well enough and he wasn't in the team, and quite rightly so, because he was coming to the end of his career. But there were other players in there, young, up-and-coming players, established players that were not getting into the side, but they had no reasoning whatsoever why they weren't getting into that side.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a problem if that's true. If he's continuing that at Spurs, and definitely that would make sense through what Lloris is saying. What I would say onto that is a problem that not just I've heard criticism of Mourinho. I've heard a criticism of many managers on that front in terms of lack of communication, of being left out. So I think it does bear out more our frustration from the players being left out, rather than Mourinho unjustifiably leaving them out, if you understand. But it is on Mourinho to make sure that he clearly explains to the players or reassures them that even though they've been left out, this is why, and this is what you can do to get back in the team. And if he doesn't do that, then I can understand why that leads to frustration, and why that could lead to that. Why you can criticise him for that, because that isn't a way. That isn't. I mean, look, who am I to tell Mourinho how to manage a team? But what I would say is, if I was a sub like that and I wasn't being told how I can get back in the team, then I would be frustrated. It would definitely annoy me.
All right, time for Charlie THFC. Let's get him on. Yes, Charlie, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Right. I mean, kind of calmed down from the weekend, now ready to get let down all over again this weekend. No, I'm kidding. But how are you feeling coming into this game?
Honestly, it's what Tottenham does to you, isn't it? Like, we all sort of had a glimmer of hope after the Villa game for it to all come crashing down against Newcastle with the exact same pattern of mistakes that have cost us about 11 points all season. Now, look, this game itself against Man United, I do actually think we have a chance in this game, and it's because of, as you were saying, that if you look at their performances, I saw a bit of their game yesterday. They're really, for a lot of the season, they haven't really been playing too well. They've just found a way to get over the line, something which we haven't done, which Cody, he said one of the stats there about that. So that's kind of gives me a bit of hope that, especially if they play Fred and McTominay in midfield, then I think the likes of Ndombele, I think he can get the better of that if he's on it, of course. So that's what gives me hope. However, what doesn't give me hope is, one, their away record.
You still there?
I'm still
sorry.
here.
I was speaking to Frank in the back end. He just asked me.
Oh, okay. But I was saying that what doesn't give me hope is the away record that they've got, which is unbelievable, really, for over a year now. No defeats. I can't remember when their last one was. So That doesn't give me much hope, and the fact that they're going to be out for revenge from the 6-1 earlier on in the season. So, look, overall, how I see the game going, it's going to be a difficult one. I can see it being a cagey game. I really can. It could even be a 0-0. You never know, but I think it will be cagey.
Yeah, and you say they're unbeaten away from home for a whole year in the Premier League, which is true, and that's very, very impressive. You can't take that away from them. But in their last 9 league games away from home, they've drawn 6 and won 3. And in their last game away at a Premier League team was Leicester, and they lost 3-1 in the FA Cup. So does that give you any more sort of maybe more encouragement when you drill down into how they've been performing lately as opposed to the year overall?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said I do think we have sort of more of a chance in this game than, let's say, if we were playing like a Chelsea or a Man City at the moment. That's how I see it. I think, as I said, it will be a difficult game. I think I think a lot depends on the defence he goes with. Because for me, the back four, it has to be Reguilon, Toby, Rodon, and Aurier. That has to be the back four. Obviously, the right back situation, you could argue Tanganga. I don't really know, but the other three in particular, that has to be it. If I see any Sanchez or Dyer, then I'll consider turning it off because I've had enough. I really have had enough of this season, and I got to a point probably a couple of weeks ago now where it was probably after the Zagreb game, to be honest, when it's got to a point now, well, yes, we are 2 points off top 4. Yes, we are in a cup final. But it's just got to a point in me where we've had so many low points this season, it's just going to be too difficult to rescue. Like, how many low points in the season? Like, it's just, I know that sounds weird that, yeah, we're still 2 points off of top 4, whatever. But it's just, there's been too many low points this season to rescue it. That's how I see it. Too many low points, all starting from the very beginning up until now. And at the end of the day, I've said it many times now that the players in our squad are just throwing the manager under the bus again. And yes, the manager does have to take some of the blame, particularly recently with some of the performances and just the way he's putting the pressure on our defence and stuff. However, how I see it is until we get rid of these players that we need to get rid of, we will never progress as a club. And that's the sad reality. Until all those players are gone, all the sort of deadwood that we always go on about, until they're gone, unfortunately, I just don't see us progressing at all. So it's important this summer we get rid of them. We get in proper players that want to be here.
Charlie, you say that there's been too many low points this season and it can't be saved. Is that still the case if we somehow do finish in the top 4?
Well, can you really see it though? That's the thing.
I can't see it, but we're only 2 points out at the end of the day, so there's a chance.
However, you say that, but my gut feeling is that in 2 weeks' time that will be gone. It will be about 8 points.
Yeah, look, you could be right, but what I'm saying is, for argument's sake, let's say we do finish in the top 4, we do win a Carabao Cup, or just one of the two. Is that season saved for you?
Oh, is he gone?
Oh, your thing cut off. I didn't hear what you said. Your thing cut off.
No, I said if we do somehow finish in the top 4 or win a Carabao Cup, is that season saved for you?
I guess it would keep Jose in a job. I think yes, that scenario of us getting top 4 and winning the cup, yes, on paper it would look a good season. However, I think that scenario is very unlikely, as I just said. However, if it does happen, then look, fair enough. On paper, it looks a good season. However, I just don't want to get carried away if it does happen, because if you look at it, you look at that. I'll go back to that run we went on in December where we beat Man City, Arsenal, all these teams, right? For me, how I see it is, even if we do get top 4 and win the cup, my opinion still remains the same about these players, that in the long term, the mistakes are always going to come back. The frailties are always going to be there in their game. And as I said, until they're gone, until these issues are addressed, we can't move forward long term. Yes, we might have the odd sort of run where we sort of maybe get top 4 and win the cup, which would be great. I'll be delighted with that, of course, if we get top 4 in the cup. However, I want to see long-term progress. I want to see us moving forward with the right players, with the right mentality and the right attitude. And unfortunately, I don't see us sort of progressing unless these players are gone and we fix every position we need to fix in the transfer market. So look, it'd be great if we can get top 4 and win the cup. However, it will be difficult, as I said, and I just don't want to get carried away with anything at the moment because, as I said, these players are holding the club back.
What score prediction are you going for?
It's a difficult one. I feel like I'm going to sit on the fence here. I'm going to go 1-1. I think it will be cagey. Obviously, I'd love to predict a win. However, I just can't. I just struggle. Even I struggle to do that now. To predict a win. I think it's going to be 1-1. We'll probably score early. We'll probably concede a penalty. Because that's just or concede late from a set piece because that's just the way the season's gone. But I'm going to sit on the fence here. I'm going to go 1-1. I can see us getting something in this game because, as I said, you look at the way Man United play. I haven't actually been too impressed with their overall football. I think the football's been pretty sort of I don't know. The football hasn't been great, to be honest, from what I've seen of them. So that gives us a chance, in my opinion. That we, especially in the midfield battle as well. I do, if Ndombele and Højbjerg, if they're on it, I do fancy them to get the better of the likes of Fred and McTominay, who that pivot is still better than Sissoko and Winks. But anyway, I'm gonna go 1-1.
All right, Charlie. Absolute pleasure. Cheers, guys. As always.
Nice one, Charlie.
Hopefully, speak to you after 3 points on Sunday.
Come on, let's go. Up Spurs.
All right, everyone, do scroll down, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. We've got a super chat from Hotspur Hazard. Says 2-1 Spurs win. Bale with the winner.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be very nice.
Wouldn't mind that.
You'll see scenes in the studio if that does happen.
Spurs News with a tweet saying, who's replying, here are 3 players who may or may not start that I do not want to start. He says, I want Bergwijn, Lucas and Toby to start and Lamela, Sanchez and Lo Celso not to start.
Lamela, Sanchez and Lo Celso. It's a bit harsh.
That's what he's saying.
Bit harsh on Lamela and Lo Celso.
Ben Golden, I know it's completely off topic from the Man United game. Would you recall Skip next year or give him another year of loan because he won't be starting every game?
We have to recall him. We have to. I mean, the guy's balled it out completely in the Championship this season, and we need to give him as many minutes as possible next season in the Spurs shirt.
Yeah, and he seems ready for that step up. So
I agree.
And Collier Tommy says, I don't understand this confidence thing about the players. If there would be fans on the matches, the players would have blood would have been booed already.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true. All right, and that's that for now.
All right, well, I just want to let you guys know about a brand new show coming your way on a Sunday, an hour before kickoff. We have got the great Irish Hotspur taking you through the lineups and getting your opinions on the upcoming the game and bringing you in to the live watch along. You know, if you've got a bit sick of seeing me and my brother's face, we're bringing you a brand new show, the Irish Hotspur. We haven't actually decided on a name for it yet, but you'll see on Sunday all the branding to do with that. But look, let's get the Irish Hotspur on. Let's see how excited he is to get his own brand new show on We Are Tottenham TV. Welcome to the family, my friend. Welcome to the family.
No, thanks very much. Thanks very much for asking me. It's an absolute privilege. And lads, we will never, ever get sick of seeing your face. Never.
So, big game this weekend, Dave. How are you feeling coming into it?
Look, I'm actually feeling confident, to be honest. Look, United played last night. I'll be honest, I didn't see anything special. And for me, look, all I'd say to everybody is get out your scuff shoes. Ole Gunnar Shoeshiner is coming to town. You may as well avail of him while he's coming. But look, we can sit here and be negative and talk about how shit we've been this season. But look, we're still 2 points outside top 4. And why we still have a chance, I'm still going to believe. And for me, we're Tottenham Hotspur. On our day, we can turn up and beat anybody. And I definitely do think we can do United this weekend. For me, I think if we don't, I think our top 4 hopes are gone, to be honest.
Is it a win? Do you think it's win or bust this weekend? If we draw it, if we get a draw, does that rule us out?
Yeah. No, I think if we can just if we don't lose and keep the momentum ticking over, I think we have a chance. Like, that point could be crucial, depending on other results and stuff like that. But we do have a nice run of fixtures after this game that we should be winning. But
Yeah.
I do think if we lose to United, I think all the negativity and everything else will just set in, and I just think everything will implode.
In terms of your new show will be doing the lineup reaction. I want to know what your prediction for the lineup is. I want to know what is going to make you angry if you see it on Sunday. I want to know what your thoughts are on the lineup, how we should set up, because we obviously kept the same lineup last week between Newcastle and Villa, with unchanged. Didn't kind of have the repeat performance. So what changes would you make?
For me, I'd definitely bring back in Toby. I was weighing this up. I was thinking, like, United, they're fast. They have quick players in the team. So I was thinking maybe Mourinho probably would go with Sanchez again. But honestly, I don't want Sanchez. The guy just doesn't. Anytime the ball is in the air, goes in behind him, he doesn't know where it is. And United are going to do a lot of that. So we can't play him. For me, you have to play Toby beside Rodon. But another thing I was thinking, lads, is that I wouldn't be surprised to see us go 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, 3 in midfield, 2 up top. Because, look, United, they're strong down Wan-Bissaka's side at full-back. Luke Shaw, he's having a decent season. Strong down that side. Their weakness is Maguire and Lindelof. So why not just go straight through the middle and just go for it?
Yeah.
Not a bad theory.
I mean, there really should be space in behind for us. I mean, if Son can catch them in behind, then I think we can find joy, can't we?
No, 100%. Look, for me, I want to see Harry Kane sit on Lindelof. I do think he's the weak link. I'm calling him Lint Chocolate because he just melts like chocolate every time anyone gets on him. But look, Son on Wan-Bissaka's side, I don't think he's going to get too much joy. Look, Wan-Bissaka, one thing he's very good. Even if you do get by him, he is coming back. I think he's a very good fullback. He's very hard to beat. For me, if Son could get on the ball and start coming inside with it, get Reguilon on the outside, then that starts creating attacking situations and stuff like that. And it means you can utilise Son's threat. He's on his right foot. It's absolutely brilliant. But one thing I don't want to see is Son going on the outside of Wan-Bissaka, because I don't think A, he'll have the strength, or B, he'll have the pace. So if I was Jose Mourinho, I'd probably try and keep the ball away. Like, I wouldn't be looking at that side to exploit United, but I'd definitely be looking at getting that in behind Lindelof and Maguire 100%.
Yeah, and also if you put Son up against Maguire, if you put him up top, he could really catch Maguire out. We've seen Maguire, even last season when we played United, Bergwijn caught him out with a bit of pace and he was caught flat-footed. And I think Maguire, as good as he is, and I do think he's a solid defender, he can be caught out with on the turn for sure. And then there's no one better than Son to catch him out there.
And with Maguire as well, say if we do go what we've been playing the last few weeks, the 4-2-3-1, if you have Lucas as that number 10, we know Maguire likes to come out with the ball. So one thing that could be crucial there is if Lucas does play in that number 10, is setting him on Maguire every time he comes out with the ball, try and take it off him. Because Maguire, he's slowing behind. He likes to come out with the ball. If you can take the ball off him, then straight away you're in behind. So I'd definitely be looking at pressing United high this game, to be honest with you.
And what's your score prediction this weekend?
Oh, lads, I'm going to go 2-1. Look, I'm confident. I think Mourinho owes Ollie one. I think Mourinho will definitely be looking to beat United. Look, United will be hungry after the 6-1. They will be hungry after the 6-1. They did beat us last time they come to Old Trafford or come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well. But I'm slightly confident going into this game. I do think we're going to turn them over because I've seen time and time again is when there's something at stake, Tottenham fold. But when everyone's expecting them to fold, we end up going out and winning again. So I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we bet United. And I said this before the Newcastle game, or after the Newcastle game, I think it was when I came on. I said I wouldn't be surprised to see us go and beat United next week.
But it's funny this week because this week you got best of both worlds. The pressure's on Spurs and everyone expecting us to fold. So which way is it going to go?
No, look, I think we're going to beat United. I do. Look, we've a decent enough record over United over the last few years. With United, it's about them turning up on the day. Look, if they turn up on the day and they keep the ball, they're going to be very hard to beat. But I just think that playing midweek, playing last night, I do think it will have an effect on them. And yeah, I just see us beating them. I really do see us beating them. Look, Bruno Fernandes is going to be a crucial player for them. Just for me, stick end on belly on him. Just let him bully him around all day long.
All right. David, Always a pleasure getting you on, and everyone tune in. I think it's going to go off at around 3 o'clock on Sunday for David's brand new show on We Are Tottenham TV. The drive time just before the kickoff, driving into our live watch long. David, you excited?
Oh, lads, I absolutely can't wait. Do you know what? I'm a bit nervous. I just hope I don't fuck it up, to be honest with you.
Don't be silly, man. Don't be silly.
Do you
I know you're
do
going
you
to
know
have
what I
the
mean?
whole
But
Harris
look,
army
one
with
thing
you
I
here
can
as well.
guarantee everybody is you're definitely 100% going to be pumped going into the game. By the time the boys come on, you're definitely going to believe we can win. And, you know, it's definitely going to be a very fun hour. And also, I want to see people come on and speak to me, get their opinions in before the game and everything else as well. You know what I mean? Show me the support, show the boys the support, and let's make it a great build-up show for the boys. Come on. The We Are Tottenham TV Army, I need you as well. I can't do this on my own. I just want to say before I go, if anybody in this club has a bit of bollocks about them, Sunday is the time to reach down and find it.
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed.
Absolutely spot on as always, Dave. Thanks for coming on, mate, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Come on, you Spurs. See you Sunday, boys. Like them up.
Come on.
Love it. All right.
All right, and
super chat here?
We got a super chat here from Will Stewart. He says, there you go, Ben. Drive time with the Irish Hotspur. Did I just
maybe.
Did I just get it in
just made the name.
Did I just get it in one?
Look who it is.
Who? Josh. Josh is back. Where you been, Josh? Where you been?
Missed him. He's been too busy driving. That's where he's been.
I actually said the other day, Josh hasn't been on in a while. Where's he been?
He's disillusioned.
I haven't been on, man. So big up the We Are Tottenham family. Big up all the supporters. Big up the fans. And let's hope this week we turn it around, guys. And finally, I'll get to bring some samosas to your studios. Can't wait.
Please, man, please. I mean, are you confident coming into this one?
Do you know what? There's a lot of question marks, guys. There's a lot of question marks because if we start with this retreated mentality, if we start with a low block, if we give them too much respect, we're setting ourselves up to let goals in, put ourselves under pressure, and then have to kind of throw the kitchen sink like we've done against certain teams in the last 15 and try and grab a draw. So I just hope we go with our chests pumped out, a fairly high line. Obviously, we've got to be wary of the speed they've got with Rashford, with the players they've got at their disposal. They've got some very smart players in Bruno. So, you know, United can bring goals. But I just hope we don't retreat, guys. Because I've seen it against Arsenal. I've seen it against Chelsea. I've seen it against too many teams, man. We just retreat from the beginning. And I just hope the players come out and just stick to the attacking nature of the game. And the only way we're going to beat United is score more goals than them. Do you know what I mean? There is no other way. So if it's a 3-2, if it's a 4-3, whatever it is, our defensive...
Oh,
Is he still there?
I think he's parked, isn't he? I think he might have cut out. I know he's there. I just heard him again.
I just heard him again.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, I just hope we attack and go for it, you know, and don't retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you envisage
I just hope
us?
we attack, man. I just want us to go for it.
How do you envisage us setting up the team, given, you know, we kept an unchanged lineup from the Villa game into Newcastle, and then of the Newcastle game didn't quite go as we had hoped. How many changes and what kind of changes do you expect for this one?
Oh, I can hear a load of kids. Bobby, is that you, mate? You need to go on mute.
Come on, Bobby.
Is Bobby singing in the background?
Yeah. There we
Sorry,
go. Say that again, chap. Say that question again. Ask me that question again. Sorry.
I said from the lineup we used from Newcastle was unchanged from the Villa lineup, right? So we used an unchanged lineup, and the performance didn't quite go to plan against Newcastle. So what kind of changes do you expect to be made on Sunday?
I think, look, at the back, you know, everyone talks about pace, but sometimes you've got a pace in your head. You've got a yard in your head. So, you know, quality players who are a bit slower, they have a yard up there. So it's not always about who's quicker in a 100-meter sprint. It's about who can anticipate, you know, defensive situations better. So for me, Toby's got to go in for that reason because of his anticipation. And I think based on Rodon's performance against Newcastle, I think you've got to put him in. But we've seen Sanchez play well alongside Toby because of Toby's organisation and leadership. So I'm happy with Rodon, Toby, but if you put Sanchez in, I'm expecting better from Sanchez considering he's got his mate next to him. that's been kind of, his kind of anchor in defence when he's played well. Reggie on the left. On the right, Tanganga or Aurier. I think Aurier should be fresh, so stick him out there for the crossing. The wing backs for Man United are going to attack, guys, so we've got to get in behind them, So whether it's Aurier or Tanganga, I think Aurier's crossing is going to come in handy, so I'd go Aurier right back just to get those crosses in. And then for me, guys, personally, I know it's not going to happen, but I'd love to start with Son, Kane, and Bell. But obviously, with Mourinho's problems with Bale at the moment, we're not going to get that BHS up front. So if he goes with Vinny, so be it. Vinny does pin the defenders back and he allows Kane to have a free roaming kind of role. And you saw that in the second goal against Newcastle. Vinny was just keeping the defences pinned back. So I'm happy with that. But I'd love to see Lucas Moura in a number 10, chaps, because, Lucas Moura's best position is there by the looks of it. He did it against United a few years ago, 3-0, the hat-trick. He did it against Ajax in that position. Just let him roam. Let him roam. The guy can dribble, can take a man on. His acceleration is crazy. His acceleration from 0 to 60. And with Son and Kane and Bale, I think those four can cause damage. Obviously, Bale won't track back, but that's where you've got to get your defensive organisation in Tanguy, kind of being 10, 15 yards back and not getting caught up midfield. But I think it's going to be a great game, guys. I think we're in for goals. And I just feel like, you know what? No retreat, no surrender. Go for it. So many games to go now. Look at it as a free hit. And just go for it, man. Just go for it. They're going to come for us, right? They're going to come with their attack. And we've got to turn up and show them every ounce of attack that they've got for us. We've got to give it back to them and more. And then we give ourselves a chance to nick the game.
What's your score prediction?
On that basis, I know it's going to sound a bit crazy. We're going to let in goals. Luke Shaw's going to be banging in the crosses. So we're going to let in 2, but I'll back us to score 3, guys. So I'm going to go
3.
A bit more confident than my usual self. I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to go for Moura. I'm going to go for Kane, and I'm going to go for Son as well to grab a goal. So let's hope I'm right.
All right, let's hope you're right, man. And let's hope we got some samosas to eat on Sunday. Let's hope, man.
We need it, boys. We need it, man. I'll deliver it to the studios, man. I'll be your Uber driver for the day. No problem.
Please do, man. Please do. See you later, Josh, man. Good to have you on again. And,
see you later, guys.
See you in a bit.
Spurs. Take care.
Come on, you Spurs.
And now for the last guest of the day. Big up Bobby Singh. Big up Bob Spur TV. Let's get him on.
Spur TV.
Come on,
going,
Bob. I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Good. Thanks.
Good.
Getting ready for the big game this weekend. How are you feeling coming into it?
Yeah, another big game, isn't it? Just hoping for a better result. Definitely better performance, but I think right now we need results more than performances. I mean, which is fair enough because the performances have hardly been there of late anyway. It's the results we really need, and just something positive to come out. It's been a bit of a negative week, isn't it? And I think I'm going to take Cody's route. He's been very positive this week, and we chat amongst ourselves, and I think that's probably the direction we all need to take, and hopefully it'll rub off on the players and the manager.
Yeah, I mean, Cody did say opinion about Toby Alderweireld. I don't know if you heard it. He thinks he's the mole. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, he's been saying that all week, and to be fair, we'll be like, really? But he's always coming out with these little facts, little droplets of facts, and it's I think it's convinced quite a few of us. His father's got a big role to play in all things Toby, and he's suddenly gone quiet into hiding. So but I just think it's just unfortunate we have to have a mole. We shouldn't be in that position, really, should we? The fact that we're reliant on a mole to come out to spread all this gossip. I mean, obviously, the fact Mourinho was caught out lying has anything to do with the mole. That was his own actions. But there's a part of me just wants to put it to one side. What he did, the whole lying thing, I absolutely despise. I think lying's probably one of the worst things you can do. And the fact he did it to save his own face. But that's gone now. It's a past. Let's look forward. There's an opportunity to get top 4. Let's go for it. I say we want to be. We're fickle, aren't we? We'll be overjoyed and everything will be fine if we win on Sunday. So I don't mind that as long as there's a bit of joy.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about the toxicity this week and about how about Mourinho lying and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to ask you, once players do look like they're turning on the manager and stuff like that. There are 8 games to go now. We are 3 points outside of the top 4 position. Is there any way Mourinho can get these boys together and say, look, we've got 8 games. Let's just all pull together for these last 8 games to try and get Champions League football? Do you think the damage has already been done?
Honestly, Sim, I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know. You know, the only way we as fans possibly see if we're all pushing in the same direction or pulling in the same direction, and the players are with the manager is by the performances and the results on the pitch. So far, it says that probably not. But I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping that the players, even if have got an issue with Jose, they play for the badge and play for the fans. It's very unlikely that some of them do, but I hope they do. And then at the end of the season, like I say, it's a massive season. It's a massive, I keep on saying broken record, but it's a massive summer for the board. You know, even if Jose gets top 4, if their visions don't match, then it's best to move Jose on, because Jose needs money in the summer, regardless of where we finish. If we finish 4th and win the cup, then suffice to say, he needs all the funds possible. But if the board aren't going to match his ambitions, then like it or not, Jose, for his own sake, more than anything, needs to move on. And like I say, it's a massive summer. I want to get this season done and dusted. Hopefully, Champions League and Carabao Cup, whatever it is. And like I say, summer is absolutely massive for ENIC. Absolutely the biggest I've noticed since our sport. It's a massive summer for the board.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. What's your score prediction this weekend?
Oh.
Everyone has the same reaction.
I know, mate.
But everyone's predicted a win so far, I think.
Yeah, I know, but we always do. Let's be honest. How often do you get someone coming on saying, "Oh,
a week's a long time in football"? If
you
ask an hour after Newcastle games, "Oh, we're going to lose. We're going to lose." It's a week. Everyone forgets.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I've predicted a loss this weekend.
Did you? What did you say?
I said 1-0.
Oh, mate. Oh, God.
This is the first loss I've predicted this season.
It must be. Is it?
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. 2-1. 2-1 Spurs, double over Man United.
In the history of this channel, I think I've predicted about 2 Spurs losses in 4 years.
Wow. Mate, things must be bad.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you said 2-1, you're saying?
Yes, 2-1, mate. Yeah.
All right.
Harry Kane double.
All right. Let's hope you're right, man. Let's really hope you're right. And hopefully we'll get to hear from you after a nice 3 points on Sunday.
Definitely.
So, Bob, have a nice, relaxing weekend, and we'll hopefully see you on Sunday.
Nice
one. Cheers, guys. Legends. Thank you, mate.
Come on, you Spurs. All right. So that concludes the end of...
Should we just read a couple of tweets quickly?
All right, read a couple of tweets.
One from Nate Hengen says, Rodon needs to play for the rest of the season, especially against United. The only problem is that he will have to play with either Sanchez or Tanganga at the back, as he isn't the fastest. I think he can play with Toby. I think he has got a bit of pace, Rodon, so I disagree with that. My lineup from THFC George says Lloris in goal, Aurier, Toby, Dyer, Reguilon. He will put Dyer back in. Højbjerg and Dombele, Lucas, Lamela, Son and Kane.
I mean, I've seen quite a few people saying Dyer should start, Dyer should start. But I think people are forgetting about what kind of performances he was
remember this
putting
happened under Poch. I remember that. I remember at the beginning of last season when we started, we were having bad form. It was like, oh, get Dyer back in CM. He remember he was so good at the beginning, getting back in. I remember did people forget how bad he's been? And we put him back in and we lost 3-0 to Brighton. I was like, yeah, Dyer's not the problem here.
And then Poch got sacked a few weeks later.
And then Poch got sacked. So I wouldn't say that's the best thing. But I think that's it, really.
All right. So there you have it. The press conference will be played on this stream straight after we go offline. So if you want to watch it, hang onto this stream. Otherwise, do go and check it. It is uploaded to the channel right now. So either way, you can watch it on both, to be fair. Let's see what happens.
Exactly. Watch it a couple of times.
Big game this weekend. We've got some more content coming your way. Predicted lineup and match preview will be with you tomorrow. And then Sunday is the big day. The brand new show with David. Drive time with David Harris. Drive time with the Irish Hotspur coming your way from 3 o'clock on Sunday, which will move us into our live watch long and then to the post-match fan show when it is your chance to have your say yet again. But that's it from us today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for contributing, for tweets and super chats and call-ins and everything, and just the live comments. Really good to have your input. Thank you everyone for joining us yet again. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.
this evening. Gary, I'm coming to you first.
Come on, let's do it fast. I have a match to play, 1 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing an empty seat, but I'm sure you're there, Jose. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Any injury news?
Good news. Ben Davies and Matt Doherty are the only 2 players that are not available to play. So they are still injured, of course, getting better, but no more injury news. So everybody available.
Jurgen Klopp earlier this year called Manchester United the penalty kings. Others have kind of adhered to that view as well. They've had 3 against you, United, in the last 3 games, one in each. Does that concern you?
I cannot go to a football match concerned. I can't. I don't think it's the right frame of mind to go to a football match concerned. So I'm not going concerned, and I don't want my players to go to. We have to go football match with positive feelings, enjoying the game, enjoying the dimension and the difficulty of the game, coping with the responsibility, coping with the pressure, good pressure. So that's what I want. I want to be positive and happy to play against such a giant club and such a good team, and of course with the ambition to win the points, because the points, when the game starts, the points are going to be there on the grass, and we are going to play for the points.
And every reason to be, just as you say, Jose, positive, because you're back at home for the first time in a month on a great run at home, 5 wins in a row in all competitions, scoring, I think, 16 goals. So going in really with that kind of record, all the reason to be optimistic.
I don't look too much for the records, because sometimes things go against the stats or the tendencies or what the records are saying. I go with confidence because I believe in us. I believe in the work we are doing this week to try to prepare the match the best we can. I believe. I don't want to go to the match with other thing in mind than we are ready. We are working well during this week for the wrong reasons, which is knocked out of Europa League, but for the wrong reasons, we were able to have a week to work. We didn't have many for the good reasons. We didn't have many during the season, and now we had it, and that makes me positive. I enjoy the work this week, and I'm positive.
Can I ask you, obviously you handed out a footballing lesson to Manchester United last time. Is that something, that big defeat that United had against you, is that something that you imagine Ollie will use in his team talk? And is it something you will use in your team talk?
I'm sorry, I will answer to your question. I'm just sorry because I just read some sad news about Prince Philip. So I would like to express my condolences to the royal family, and to be very honest and say that I have deep the utmost respect for the royal family. So my deep condolences, and I believe that is not just this country that is going to be sharing these feelings, because I'm not English, and I know that many like myself, we have the utmost respect. So I'm sorry to stop your question. with this. In relation to your question, Gary, I think that 6-1 doesn't reflect the reality. Can happen, of course, can happen sometimes between two big clubs. These crazy results, they can happen, but they happen in an isolated way. I go much more on the direction of the other two previous matches between us and United. We lost 2-1 at Old Trafford with a penalty, and we drew 1-1 at home last season, also with a penalty. I think for me this is more the reality. We are not far from each other. We are not far from each other. So I think it's going to be a difficult match for both. If Solskjaer is going to use that result, I don't know. If it was the opposite, if it was my team losing 6-1 against them, I would just say to my guys, it happened once, it's not going to happen twice. This doesn't reflect the reality. The game is going to be tight and we can win. But I don't know, maybe Solskjaer thinks in a different way.
Final one from me. Davison had some racist abuse on social media. The club issued a statement saying it was disgusted. First of all, how is he? And secondly, some clubs, led by Swansea, are having a social media blackout for a week starting today. Would you support something like that?
The club is thinking. The club is analyzing every detail, and the club, of course, wants to make an impact. And the decision that the club will make will be a decision that we, of course, will accept and support. But is an internal discussion about the sad situation. In relation to Davison, of course, there is nothing more to add about the sadness of the situation, but I would just say that he found a lot of love internally because he's a lovely guy and everybody likes him and everybody supported him, and he's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, Ian Abrahams, Talk Sport.
Hi, Jose. How are you?
Ian, I have a football match to play in 10 minutes.
No problem. I don't want to know what position. I presume you're going to play in goal. I saw you playing goal at QPR. No? Okay, go on. Where are you going to play?
I'm fitter now.
Okay.
I can run something.
Okay.
And kick some legs.
Okay. Left back. Right. Going to ask you the first question about United. Is it still special when you play against your old club, United?
Yes, of course it's special. But not special because I've been working there. Special the same way it was before I worked for the club. Special because it's a big club. It's always a big match. I played against United with Chelsea, with Inter, with Real Madrid. I played against United so many times with so many clubs.
And Porto, when you slid on your knees at Old Trafford, and Porto
yeah,
as well.
with Porto too. So it's always difficult, but it's always a good feeling to play against such a club with such an history.
In terms of social media abuse, you've come onto social media in the last year or so, or been very proactive, and you've used it in a funny way to let people know about you and what you think. Would you consider coming off social media now, and for good, or even in a short period of time?
I didn't think about it, and I think the ones that can make really an impact on this and resolve the problem are the media giants. I think everything is in their hands to hand with this sad situation, because, as you say, social media can be funny, can bring people together, can bring people from different continents to look like they are living in the same street. And yes, you are right. I have some fun. I try to be positive, and that's the way it should be. Unfortunately, is not like that. But I believe that even doing different things is not going to be with individuals. Is not even going to be with education, I believe, because honestly, my feeling is that the new generations are not the problem. I think the new generations are much more in the world that we want, without discrimination, without bullying. I think it's not even a problem of education of younger ages. I think it's for the media giants to make a decision and to make that fight. If they want to win that fight, they win it for all of us.
And finally, you mentioned just before about Prince Philip and the sad news today. You've come over to the UK and you've immersed yourself, and you live in London. Would you say that the royal family and Prince Philip and the Queen are what makes Britain special, makes Britain great?
I believe so. I have the utmost respect, and I feel sad for the departure of Prince Philip on a personal basis, because I have only positive feelings, and for the meaning of the family, I feel very sorry. But unfortunately, is live, and we have to keep going.
Okay, we've got time for one more on the broadcast side, so it will be Hugh Ferris. Hugh, I'm just unmuting you now.
Cool. Thank you very much indeed. Hi, Jose. Just Gary mentioned about your home form. Manchester United's away form is extraordinary. 22 Premier League matches unbeaten. Is that a product of this season in particular, or is it a product of the way that they play in particular? And how are you going to end that run tomorrow on Sunday?
I'm not going to comment the records, apart of to say many congratulations for the records. We are going to try to win the match. That's the only thing that I can say. I know that is very, very difficult for many different reasons. It's very, very difficult, but that record is not going to stop us to think and to feel that we can win, and is not going to stop us to fight to win. Then in the end of the match, maybe the result is different, and their record becomes even better, but it's not the record or anything else that is going to stop us to go to the game thinking that we can win it.
Thank you.